Hello, my name is Andrew Thut. I am a sales engineer with IBM, and today I'll be diving into the geospatial APIs available in IBM's Environmental Intelligence product. But before we get into the APIs themselves, let's talk a little bit about what is geospatial and temporal data. Well, think of it as any data that includes information pertaining to a time and a location. And while that information can be really valuable because the data sets are so big, it can oftentimes be really difficult to work with and require advanced skills. Now, fortunately, our geospatial APIs are engineered in a way that makes these large data sets easier to work with. So to illustrate that point, let's work through an example where I will query the mean temperature for the entire United States in 2023. And to help with the visualization, I'm going to jump into a screen share in just one moment where we're going to make an API call through an open source tool called Postman that's often used for testing APIs.
All right, so let's break down this post API call, and I want you to focus your attention down toward the body section of the API call. So the raster type is going to be the output that we're going to see here. Okay, so the raster file is actually going to be a TIFF file, and the ID is 49243. So that layer ID represents temperature data drawn from ERA5. ERA5 is a source of historical weather data that comes from the European Weather Center. And because we want the average temperature for all of 2023, we're going to apply the aggregation method of mean. From a spatial standpoint, we are also looking for a bounding box. You can see that in the coordinates here. This creates a bounding box. It's basically a collection of latitude and longitude points. And finally, from a temporal standpoint, here is the dates that we're looking for data. So between January 1st of 2023 and all the way into the 1st of 2024. Now, when we make that API call, it's going to return a 200, which is good news, and we're going to get this ID back. And so then there's one more step. We need to make a get API call. We're going to embed this ID into that, and that's going to download the data. Now, I can say that downloading this significant amount of data is going to take some time, but it is well worth it. We are querying more than 8,000 hours of data across about 4 million square miles in the United States. Now, to help you understand what the output looks like, we're going to pull up QGIS. It's an open source geospatial software, and I pulled in the raster tip, and here we can see that average temperature in the United States for all of 2023. You can also interact with the data. I will click on the screen here, and the active readout of that value is 287. You might look at that and think, what does 287 mean? Well, that is a temperature measurement in the units Kelvin, but we could also convert this value back to Fahrenheit or Celsius.
Now, this represents one example of data within our geospatial APIs. We also provide access to data sets like elevation, weather predictions from the GFS models, soil properties, satellite imagery from Sentinel-2, and so many more. A link to a full catalog of our data is embedded in this post, along with a link to check out a free preview of environmental intelligence. Until next time, thanks for checking out the video.